John, first of all, how are you? Because on Saturday after that game, you were pretty low, weren't you?
Yes, lower than a snake's belly, I think, at the weekend. I had a bit of a strop after the match, and I think it's because I care so much. I think that's the biggest thing. I suppose if I didn't care so much, it wouldn't matter. I wouldn't be bothered about it. But I so want us to be successful, and I think on Saturday I did mention the fact that with no disrespect to Crew, but we absolutely dominated the second 45 minutes, and we come away with only a point, and they're the games that I feel that we should get more from. And I was scratching my head a little bit as to why we played so poorly in the first half, and there was many uncharacteristic errors from my players in the first half, which I found extremely frustrating. And I was very down after the game. But I went away on Sunday and spoke to one or two people, and I'm obviously Monday morning I was a lot better. Picked myself up as you do. And come into work, and obviously I'm in, as you can see now from my persona, I've got a smile on my face and ready to get ready for the FA Cup this weekend. I think you try and get everything in perspective, and I actually spoke to a journalist, believe it or not, yesterday, who suggested that you're in 15th position in the league, you've got 9 teams below you, who would all swap places with you automatically, and I was, you do tend to get things into perspective, but I strive for perfection, really. I strive for excellence, and when I don't get it, I want to know why, and quite rightly I had a long hard look at myself, and I did suggest after the game that it could be me, it could be me expecting too much possibly from the players. But somebody said to me yesterday, because of my background and what I kind of got as a player, and some of the teams that I've coached, maybe with played with better players and coached better players, maybe you're setting the standard too high. And I think I've got enough intelligence about me to appreciate that. I'm in League One. I'm a League One manager. I have to think like a League One manager, behave like a League One manager, but at the same time want my players to get up into the Championship. And I think, as I said, I've got enough about me not to expect too much from my players. I don't expect them to play like Premier League players, but I expect them to want to play like Premier League players, and I think that's the big difference. So we're fine. Everything's great. We've worked very hard on the training ground. The boys are in good shape, and very excited about the FA Cup this week.
We're a third of the way through the season. Obviously a big change around in players in the summer.
Yes.
Lots of new players coming in, and that settling in process has it taken more time, do you think, than you expected?
Yes, it has, and I didn't give myself any time. I gave myself the 6 weeks of pre-season. I really thought that that's the time when you prepare yourself. You can try things. You can lose as many pre-season games as you want because they don't really matter, providing that you're experimenting. And we've had to experiment quite a lot, obviously, with such a large influx of new players. I have to say it was. I don't think I've ever faced such a more difficult preparation period than the one having to sign the players, having to convince them this is the place to be. That side of it was very hard mentally. Obviously, there was a big cutback in the budget as well, and players that I had here last year that I wanted to keep, it was almost impossible to keep them because of the fact that we were reducing the salaries in the summer. I lost 2 of my very best players in Andy Drury and Carl McFadzean. They were very instrumental in our performances last season, and we lost them because we needed to sell them. It's been very hard trying to bring in so many new players at once, and everyone getting used to each other, and myself getting used to them. And I've obviously been delighted with some, not quite so happy with others. But at the end of the day, I chose them, and I have to. That's their things that I have to ask myself. I was the one that brought them in, so I have to make sure that they're worthy of wearing the jersey. You know, my teams have not always been offensive. I've erred on the side of caution sometimes. I think it's.
Is that because of the settling in, of trying to get the new players bedded in? You'd rather be a little bit not defensive, but making sure that we're hard to beat in the initial stages of this first third of the season.
Yeah, it's always easier to should I say, it's more difficult to be creative. It's always more difficult. In life, it's difficult. You know, it's easy to destruct. It's much harder to actually create. And obviously, with setting up your team, it's easy to make yourself tough to beat. And I think that's what we have been. People will say, obviously, in 1 or 2 games we weren't so tough to beat. But we've set up that way, and I wanted to get some points on the board really before we kind of went sort of gung ho and just threw everything at every game. I wanted to make sure, you know, people would not be, our fans certainly would not be very happy had we started the season just going all out attack and losing game after game after game. Been sort of very entertaining but not winning any matches. What we've tried to do is try to be solid and get some kind of stability in the team, and obviously, you know, it's not been easy trying players in different positions, moving the team around, trying something one week, maybe changing a personnel another week because it didn't quite work so well. That side of it has been not particularly very easy. But I think, you know, we've got ourselves. I think we're a better team now than we were 6 weeks ago. I think that's quite certain. Big Matty. I brought obviously Matty Harrell to the club in the summer. He's got a good goal scoring ratio, and I've been without him obviously for a few months. He's just got back in the last 3 or 4 weeks. He's just got back into sort of full training, back to full fitness after his operation, and able to get through 90 minutes. You know, Big Matt's a big lad, you know, and he has to be fit to get around the pitch, and that's what I've always tried to look after him and make sure that once he does come back, that we've got him back for the rest of the season. You know, still lots of games to play, and obviously we've been without the captain for a considerable time. Josh has got lots of pluses when he plays. You know, he's got the chance to score goals for us. He's a good taker of opportunities, and he's an extremely fit boy. He gets around the pitch well, and I mean, he's a Crawley Town boy through and through as well, and we've been without him, and obviously lost a few players from time to time, but everybody loses players. But overall, I think, you know, we're in a situation now where we can start to be a lot more offensive, a lot more attack-minded, and I think that's really something I've tried to get across to the players. You know, that we can afford to take a few more risks now. You know, we've got some good points on the board. Should have had more than 19, but we got 19 on the board, which is a good base in which to continue the rest of the season. We've got 2/3 of the season still left to play. We're 7 points behind a playoff position, and anything can happen. You've seen what Newcastle have done in the last couple of weeks. 4 victories, 4 consecutive victories, and you wouldn't have given them a prayer. But they've managed to all gel together. My boys, I'm pleased with the lads. I'm pleased with the dressing room, the way everything is there, and I threw my dummy out of the pram last Saturday, but that won't happen again. It's just really, Bruce, mainly because I do care so much. I want it to be so good for everybody connected with our club, because, you know, we don't have huge amount of fans coming through the turnstile every week. But the ones that came in, I mean, they were chanting on Saturday from the stands in the second half. We gave them something to shout about. And the ones that have stood by us, you know, they're the people that I really care about, the people that travel away on, you know, and we go to Yeovil this Saturday in the FA Cup, and, you know, we'll have a lot of Crawley fans that will make that long journey, as they have done all season, and they're the people that I feel for more than anything, because deep down, you know, I am a Crawley fan. You know, I wear the red with pride. I've got my Crawley Town hats that I wear at home in Berkshire when I take the dogs out. You know, I'm just, it's my whole life. I joined on 1st of December last year.
Yes,
I've not had a day off since. I've not had a day when I'm not thinking or talking about Crawley Town. Not one day does not go by. It takes over my whole life, and everything that I think of during the day, it's always about the club. It's always about Crawley. That's just the way it is. That's, you know, when I do something, you get me hook, line and sinker. You get the whole lot. And you know, my family come to the game. My kids live and die for. I've got grandkids now, obviously, as you know. Not so much the granddaughter, but the 3 grandsons. They wear their Crawley kit to school. They wear the scarves whenever they're out. They've got the Crawley scarf on and the Crawley hat. They're so proud to be fans of the club. And I think it's that bit. I just want it to be so good. And when it's not good, it affects me. And that's why I sulk. But I'm not going to sulk anymore.